is too low. Some of us need rest, for demand is high on us while we're doing for others. They are resting while you're running around. You can't even rest for yourself. Some of us need friends, or better ones than we have, because that whenever they need you, you're there. But whenever you need them, some of us need love. And you find yourself looking for it in all the wrong places. We all in here need something. Need encouragement, need security, need validation, need to feel wanted. And I struggle with needy people, but I'm accused of always giving when I need myself. But it is just good to be a blessing if you have it and you can do it, because the Lord allows you to have it in the first place. In the basic understanding of need, you need something, you ask for it, or you work for it, or God forbid you have to do something that requires a pole or making it rain. But you got to do what you got to do. I ain't mad at you. We all not able. Don't look at your neighbor like that. You don't know what they had to do to make it, to get here, to be at this point in their life. Don't look at them like that. When you have a basic need, you do not have the resources immediately to make it happen. You normally find someone to borrow from that you think can handle lending it to you. However, it is most often never enough, but just enough. And most people do not like to borrow because you don't like to owe anybody. I understand that. If you know how some people are, they will never let you live it down. They'll tell everybody, I had to help them out. They're not managing their money well. They're caught up again, and I had to bail them out. But be careful, because my grandmother used to say, you can't get so high and holy, because you never know when things change who you may need. Just thank God you've not needed them yet. Can I get a witness? Folk will down you when you have need, but all of us have needs. It's amazing how folk will hate on you. How folk will hate you on speculation, but God will love you with the evidence. It's amazing how folk will hate you on speculation, but God will love you with the evidence. Somebody missed your shout right there. So we have needs. And we look at Joseph of Arimathea. Was rich, a rich man, hated by many. He was not liked by everybody, including some of the disciples, because he was a high counselor and a voting member of the Sanhedrin Council, that they condemned Jesus to death. However, he was a secret disciple of Jesus. He was a secret disciple, and the disciples didn't know it, and the Sanhedrin Council didn't know it. And can I say this? There are some folk who can do more for you in secret than those proclaiming that they're your friend openly. Lord, help me in here. I know I'm preaching to somebody. And there's times that you need to thank God for the secret friends that show up when the loud friends are never to be found. See, Joseph had just built a tomb, preparing for his own death, and he decides to allow Jesus to use it. He did not know that Jesus only needed to borrow it, but yet he was still willing to give it up because he wanted to bless Jesus. Can I ask you a question? What are you willing to give up for Jesus? What are you willing to give up for the one who died for you? What are you willing to give up for the one that intercedes on your behalf? What are you willing to give up for the one that can back the devil up out of your life? What are you willing to give up for the one who can come and rescue you when you're in trouble? What are you willing to give up for Jesus? You got to be willing to give up something and willing to give out of some stuff. So in the natural, we We borrow. Jesus even borrowed. He borrowed a donkey. He borrowed the upper room. He borrowed a tomb. He borrowed in the natural. And in the natural, we lend. My grandfather used to tell us, never lend three things: your honey, seldom your money, and not often your running. That's your car. Lord help me again. But in spite of it, we still lend. That's in the natural. But in the spirit, we should never have to borrow. We should only lend. Because in the spirit, if God is in us, then we should have enough in us to lend our testimony, to lend our purpose, to lend our wisdom, to lend our experience, to lend our worship, to lend our prayers, and to lend our faith. You don't have to borrow if you know who God is in your life. So we borrow when we feel like we are out of options. We borrow when we feel like we're out of options. Nowhere to turn. Nothing else we can do. But Jesus did not borrow because he was out of options. Jesus did not borrow because he was out of options. Let me help you. One of my favorite TV shows has one of my favorite lines from the show Scandal. Kerry Washington, who plays Olivia Pope, she is the fixer. In the last season, in the beginning, it was real bad for her. She was in a jacked up situation. And the fixer needs fixing. And her father says to her, your situation is so bad, Olivia. You are out of options. And Olivia responds right back at him and says, I am never out of options. Oh, you a bad Negro to tell somebody I'm never out of options. Well, some of us and some of you have felt like you were out of options because your money has been funny and your change is strange. You're out of options because you've been backed up into a corner. You're out of options because you don't know where else to turn. But if you can't get Olivia Pope on Scandal, I know one who sits high. Come on, somebody. It looks low, and he said, I'm never out of options. Lord have mercy. He's never out of options. He can take you from a pit through a prison and put you in a palace. Just ask Joseph. He's never out of options. He'll throw you in a fiery furnace, but he'll jump in that sucker with you. He's never out of options. If you're in a famine, in a drought, he'll send birds to bring you food day and night because he's never out of options. If you're lying in a lion's den, he'll give the lions lockjaw because he's never out of options. And if you die on Friday, he'll get you up on Sunday because he's never out of options. Lord have mercy. Because I am the creator and the maker of it all. I'm never out of options. Jesus did not borrow because he was out of options. He borrowed to give us options. Lord help me in here. Where I come from in the village, folk used to borrow all the time from us. They used to borrow tools from my grandfather and borrow eggs from my grandmother and borrow sugar. They borrowed just so that they would not have to run to the store. They would borrow from the neighbor. And their borrowing may have inconvenienced us for a bit. Lord help me in here. It might mean that we might have been out for a little moment that because they had to borrow what they needed. It was a momentary inconvenience. The borrower had what they needed. The lender had enough, but there's the inconvenience. Oh my God. I hate when God does stuff and I have to be inconvenienced. Why you gotta do that, God, and then I have to be the one that have to be out and be needing? You know I go to church on Sundays. You know I pray to you every day. Why do I have to be inconvenienced? Maybe it's just me, but maybe somebody somebody out there feels the same way, that every now and then you say, God, why do I have to be inconvenienced? Can somebody else be inconvenienced? Can it be their turn? If the borrower is like those who grew up around my town, whenever they used what was borrowed, they would always take what they made and bring us some and say, thank you. Here is the finished product. Oh my. Church folk don't know when to shout. They would always bring us a little bit of whatever they made from the stuff they borrowed. And we would get a chance to taste. And we could say, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Come on here. Jesus borrowed a donkey and turned an ass into an asset. Jesus borrowed a room and turned it into the top floor penthouse suite. Jesus borrowed a tomb and took the sting from the grave and victory from death. Jesus can do that if you let him borrow some stuff in your life. What can Jesus do if you let him borrow your pain? What can Jesus do if you let him borrow your sorrow? What can Jesus do if you let him borrow your hurt? What can Jesus do if you let him borrow your tears? What can Jesus do if you let him borrow your sickness? What can Jesus do if you let him borrow your struggle? What can Jesus do if you let him borrow your life? Tell your neighbor he'll turn it around and work it out for you. Lend him your ears and you'll hear his word. Lend him your eyes and you'll see that you can walk by faith. Lend him your mouth and you can proclaim that God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. God can use tragedy and tribulation as transportation for your triumph. You ought to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, he can borrow me. He can use me. He can test me. He can try me. And in the end, I'm going to get the glory with the Lord because God is yet able. Let him borrow your life. Let him change your mind. Let him rearrange your situation. He'll do it. I got the evidence. Ask Joseph. Joseph will tell you. He borrowed my death in my tomb. And I've never been able to use it since. How many things has tried to take you out? And God said, come here, let me borrow that from you. How many things have tried to kill you? And God said, come here, let me take that from you. Somebody ought to give God praise. Somebody ought to give God a shout that what was set up for your demise, God said, I'm going to use it for your victory and your triumph because you have a destiny. In here. Somebody can testify that it's the bad that you've been through. God will use as a vehicle to get you to your victory. God has something in store for you. Look at your neighbor one more time and say, neighbor, let him borrow that. I don't know what you've been trying to hold on to. I don't know what you've been trying to keep on in your hand, in your possession. But Jesus comes and says, if you let me borrow it, I will turn it around and use it in a mighty way. And give it back to you better than what it was when you gave it to me. And you'll be able to bless somebody else with your overflow. Oh my God, is there anybody that wants to overflow today? Is there anybody that wants to overflow today? And so, you want to say this. Lord, whatever you do with me this season, don't do it without me. Don't Do I have a witness in here? Say, Lord, whatever you do in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Oh, somebody proclaim, say, Lord, if you're healing me this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Somebody just proclaim that because you need a healing in your body. Say, Lord, if you're healing, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Anybody need a blessing? Say, Lord, Lord, if you're blessing, blessing is, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Anybody need a blessing from the Lord? You ought to lift up your hands. Lord, Lord, if you're blessing, bless me, oh Lord. Oh, don't do it. I don't want you to do it without me. Oh, whatever you're doing, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. Don't do it without me. No, 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 no. Somebody say that one more time. Lord, whatever you're doing, please don't do it without me. Why don't you say that? Don't do it, don't do it. Don't do it. Without me. I don't want to be left out, Lord. Don't do it without me. I want you healing. I want you healing. Hey, I want your blessing. Don't do it, don't do it. I want to hear you sing it. Why don't you sing it? Somebody need to speak it over your life. I need you to change me, God. Fix my home, God. Hey, me and my relationship. Bless my children. Somebody. Oh, Lord, don't do it. Hey, don't do it. Any way you bless me, I'll be satisfied. Don't do it. Come on and give him praise. If you don't want him to do it without you, let him borrow that. Let him borrow that. Everybody stand on your feet. The doors